I just saw the fox.
इसको बताया किधर बैठे थे कौन चाहेगा मेरा ले लेगा और ब्लैक फोन उधर पहुंच जाएगा उधर से कहाँ तक पहुंचेगा
You did? Found? How do you set it up? So this one? I don't know how to start this thing. I don't know either. Valentina. She knows. You have a band? Yeah, but how do you power it? It's not turning on. I don't have a band. There's no band? Ah, yeah, there's one. It's so invisible you can't see it. That's... I'll bring the torch.
So, Hare Krishna, everyone. Jai Nitai, Jai Nitai, Jai Nitai. It's such an honor and pleasure to be amongst you celebrating Nityananda's appearance day. You must agree with me, this was a full day of Nityananda. And we will end or complete this program with a second Katha about Nityananda's Kripa. I think this will be it will be something to take home with. What we will do is, we will all say a prayer to Lord Nityananda. It's a well-known prayer. It is said, if one reads and recites this prayer, very soon the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda will come on one's spaghetti. Oh no, that's wrong. I'm trying to wake you up. Whoever reads and recites with firm faith the Sri Nityananda Astakam will have the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu soon revealed to him. It is said these 8 verses are the essence of bhakti, and they are the life of soul of those who are devotees of Lord Nityananda. When you are coming to Ekachakra, this is a village where Lord Nityananda appeared, that is situated 6 hours by car from Shila Mayapur. It's really well worth the travel. It is said that Kali Yuga or Kali Maharaj covers everything except for one place, and that is Ekachakra Gram. I have been many times there. I have slept there, and I've stayed one time for 14 days, for 2 weeks. I had one question which would decide the direction in which my life would go, and I can tell you confidentially the reason why I'm today here before you, saying the things and doing the things which I tried to do as service. That is the result of these prayers to Lord Nityananda in Ekachakra. So we will sing now or chant the best of all prayers. Melody, you will quickly catch up. It is known, it has a certain name, this meter, which at the moment, what? Shikarini. We will chant this. So you will have to look here. It's the Shinas Sri Nityananda Shtakam. It was a long, long day. There are many impressions. Most of the impressions are unconscious, but they have formed ourselves. My dear devotees, please know Nitai is within and without. He pervades everything in this world. He is the light of our eyes by which we see. He is the lover and he is the beloved. Everyone knows this truth. As Ananga Manjari, he serves the divine pastimes of Radha and Shyam Sundar. Did you know that he is non-different from Baladev and becomes the very throne on which Lord Krishna rests? As the Adi Guru, he guides all souls to the Lord of Love. Isn't that wonderful? Words stop here. What more can I say? Nitai, Nitai, Nitai. Nitai, Nitai. Everywhere I see only Nitai dancing. Raising my arms and chanting Nitai. I will go to Braj. I, a very poor soul, have only one request, only one desire, only one prayer. Nitai, kindly never leave me. Pastimes in this world, that Nityananda had come to him. They had just met, and he said, "Have you forgotten? You were holding Kirtan, but it is behind closed doors. But you came to give mercy to everyone." Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, I've not forgotten. I waited for you to join me, and through you I will give this mercy. As for Krishna and Adi Radha will continue to play, I request you to take just a moment for yourself and perhaps fold your hands in prayer. And say your own prayer to Lord Nityananda. After all, prayer is something like eating. You can't watch another person eating and become nourished. You have to eat yourself. So you cannot only watch Vrindavan Thakur, Nityananda come and pray it. We have to raise our soul to the level of prayer. Nityananda is the last manifestation of the Lord to give the mercies. So let us just pray for a moment. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We just prepared something, three little kathas, three little incidents of Lord Nityananda's working. You know, at one stage, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left Navadvipa, just like Krishna had left Vrindavan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also left those who loved him most. He wanted to take sannyas, so he swam in the night over the Ganga. It was a cold night. It was somewhere in January. That's very cold there. There are no heating systems. So he went in that cold night, when everyone was asleep after under blankets, to Katha to take sannyas. And after he had done this, the devotees in Navadvip were at the brink of death. It was as if their life force, that which kept them going, had suddenly left with their whole life shattered into pieces. They all wanted to do suicide in the cold, cold waves of the Mother Ganga. Were it not for two personalities, one was Advaita and the other was Nityananda. Nityananda had been with Chaitanya and he came back to Navadvip and said, "Everyone, listen, don't do anything rash. Come with me, I will bring you to where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is." We stayed at that time at the house of Advaita Charya. And there was a very, very touching goodbye scene from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is said that if we hear this pastimes, our hearts and even stones will break. So I will not tell it today. Lord Chaitanya took his stick with sannyas standard, and he left Navadvip to go to Puri. Now just before Puri, something very important happened. It involved Lord Nityananda. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Nityananda, I'm just going into this temple. Can you take my danda, my stick, please? So Lord Nityananda took the danda and stood there on the banks of the river. And he looked at the danda and said, Oh, you danda, you are so arrogant. Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whom we hold so dear in our heart, has to hold you on his shoulders. This is too much. Then with 3 quick movements, he broke the danda in 3 parts and threw it in the river. Hare Krishna. Now when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came out of the temple, it's a Shiva temple, he saw in the distance Jagannath Puri, the big mandir, the Sri Mandir. And he went into ecstasy and danced and danced and danced. And then he stopped and said, soon I will see you, my Lord, and I will come in my form as a sannyasi with my danda. Nitai, I gave you my danda. Where is the danda? Nitai looked at him and said, it's broken. Hare, Nityananda, you broke my danda. Don't you know that 33,000 devatas or demigods reside in the danda? How could you break it? No, said Nityananda, it was not me who broke it, it was you who broke it. When you came in ecstasy out of the temple, you fell on the danda and you broke it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked at him. Oh no, I'm sorry. Both of us were in ecstasy. And both of us fell on the danda and it broke under our veins. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, then where are the pieces? I don't know. When the expression of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu outwardly turned very sad. Inwardly he was very, very happy. But outwardly he said, oh, Nityananda, now my only possession, which I gave for you to take care, has been lost by you. How could you do this? You were supposed to help me, but you have become my greatest obstacle. Then the Lord turned to all of his devotees who accompanied him and said, Jagadananda, Mukunda, Damoda, I have entrusted this madman, Nityananda, with my only possession, and you were supposed to take care of him. But now it's broken. I will go alone to Puri. You walk behind me. The commentators say that there are two essential things happening in the Leela, and I beg you to take note of it. There is an apparent thing, that how it looks from outside. But there is also some internal thing going on. It is said that in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's danda, his liquid prema resided. And when Lord Nityananda broke the danda, the prema, or love of Godhead, streamed out of the danda all over the world. Yes, this is what. The second thing which is important is that normal religion and spirituality is guided by rules and regulations. It's done out of duty, it is done according to formula and etiquette. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's bhakti breaks all these obstacles. It's a matter of pure love of Krishna. And my dear devotees, isn't that the whole basis of the Sankirtan movement? In old times, spirituality was strictly guided by the priests, the brahmanas, and all the rituals, all the readings of Shastras was done by them. No one could perform an arati who was not a brahmana. No one could read the Bhagavad Gita who was not a brahmana. But the Bhakti movement broke this. The Bhakti poets, Bhakti singers went on the street. They raised their voices. They took cartels and their legs, they danced. And they proclaimed such revolutionary things that, like, why do you think about your caste? Why do you think about this and that? When you write the eternal Vedas on the bark of a low-class toddy tree, it's some type of low-class tree which is only good for firewood. When you write the eternal wisdom on the bark heißt Rinde, on the Vedas, on the low-class tree, isn't it still the eternal wisdom of the Vedas? So, does it matter what my bark or my skin is like? No. When in my heart I worship Krishna, then this is beyond all rules and regulations. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu broke that sannyas danda to show that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, Nityananda broke that, is beyond the formalities. It's about developing love. This means you can do everything right. If there's no love in your heart, you have done nothing correct. Yes, this is the movement of the Sankirtan movement. It was, we move on, one day in Jagannath Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called all his confidential devotees together. You must know there were devotees who were very close, like Jagadananda, Mukunda, Damodar, and Nityananda. And then there were other devotees who saw Lord Chaitanya mostly doing his kirtans. So he called his close associates together and said, I have a desire. I want to leave you all. I want to go to South India and I want to preach the bhakti there. Also, I want to search for my brother Vishwarup. You remember Vishwarup? He was the older brother. He was very, very, very beautiful and handsome. But he took sannyas and went to South India. So to search him. So Nityananda immediately said, very good, that's very nice. South India, very good place. I know all the routes. I went for 12 years on pilgrimage. I will go. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, you broke my Nanda. You are not very helpful. Also, you must know one thing. You are the conductor, and I am the puppet in your hand. When I wanted to go Vrindavan, at the time when I took sannyas, you directed me and diverted me so that I ended up in Shantipur. If you are there, I don't know where I will go. Maybe I will go to Frankfurt. He didn't say that. There was no Frankfurt. Then I came to Puri and you broke my Nanda. Jagadananda always wants to take care of me. I can't live like a sannyasi. He wants me to sleep on fine bedding and so on. He also cannot come. Because when I say no, I have to follow my ashram, sannyas. Otherwise everyone will laugh about me. Then Jagadananda cries and is disturbed. So he is also not helpful. And he went through all the list. He wanted to go alone. Then Nityananda said, my Lord, your will be done. Okay, no one of us close people will come. But see, here's this one very nice, learned person. His name is Kala Krishna Das. Why don't you take him? Someone has to carry your water pot. And someone has to carry your extra set of clothes. And then you will only dance, and your hands will be engaged in chanting the holy names. Today we had brahmanas who learned this art of, counting on the fingers of your hand. Please do this. You have a hand, a right hand, right? So go to your ring finger and go to the middle field for a moment. And then we will count ohms. We want to do 10 ohms. So you go ohm 1, then 2, then you go to the little finger, dun, 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 dun. Okay? Oh, no, my own, Krishna. Krishna, 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 Krishna. 10 times you have chanted Krishna's name now. And in this way you do this. Then you count on the left finger, also the same thing. If you have 10 times 10, how much is that? 100. Then you add 8 to it, and in this way you have chanted one certain shankha, it's called a number. So your hands are busy counting, right and left. You are busy counting. Who will carry your things? Kala Krishna will do this. So please accept him. So Lord Chaitanya agreed. And he went first to Ahobila. What is in Ahobila? Nrsimhadev, to Tirupati. Who's in Tirupati? Balaji. Then Singhachalam. It is in Tirupati Balaji or Venkatesh? Both. Same. Good. After 1 year, the two of them came to Tamil Nadu. You can imagine Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very tall, taller than everyone else, and he walks down the path and he chants this one melody, this one song all the time. Krishna, 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 Is like touching a live wire. Live wire ist ein Stromkabel, das unter Strom steht. Sorry for the German. If you touch it, you go like, so in the same way, people needed to just see Mahaprabhu in this state of ecstasy, and they became totally transformed. Now, on this road of ecstasy, something it's hard to understand really how this could happen. Kala Krishna was in the best of company, but they came upon a tribe of walking gypsies. I have been in gypsy town in Skopje and talked with the gypsy leaders, and it's very interesting. In Skopje, Macedonia, there is a huge gypsy town. It really looks very, very Eastern, if you so want. And the leaders of the gypsy community, the rich ones, they all have golden teeth, of course. It's when they smile, it really looks golden. And they are knowing that many of their habits come from gypsy tribes in India. And we compared many things. And the similarities are very nice. So these gypsies were not so nice. They had women who were expert in alluring people, and then they gave them sweet wine with something in it, and they made members like this. You would call this in slang language flirty fishing. This New York slang. So they made also Kala Krishna das drunk, and his life became compromised. When Mahaprabhu saw this, his servant had now left him, or better, that they had been taken away by the Bhattaharis, he must have thought, I knew it, I wanted to go along. But internally he said, I must take care of Kala Krishna Das. I'm in the renounced order of life, but I have to take care of him like a father. So he went to the Bhattahari and said, hey, why are you purposefully giving me pain? I'm a sannyasi, you're a sannyasi, you walk around freely. I don't see any good logic if you give trouble to me. Upon hearing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the Bhattacharys did their and they came running from all sides and began to attack the Lord with weapons, desiring to actually hurt him. However, when they came close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their weapons fell from their hands and struck their own bodies. When some of these men were thus cut by these weapons, the others ran away in the four directions. While there was much roaring and crying at this community thing, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu grabbed Krishna Das by the hair and took him away. Since that time it is said, glorious is the master who doesn't let his servant sink into Maya, but who comes and takes him back. I have a disciple, a godbrother, who lived in the temple, and everything went very well, but he had joined so young, and when he came to the age of perhaps 25 or so, don't remember the age, he wanted to have the pleasure of female companionship. So he, over the night, he left the ashram and he went to Mexico and other states of America where he had many adventures with ladies. But he always remembered that other taste of Krishna consciousness, which is not passion and tamas. No? And so he always, one day he said, Krishna, or it was no, Prabhupada, if you are there and you can hear me, give me a sign and then I will return. So at that time he was on a highway in Mexico. He was driving to another adventures there. At that time there were hippie camps in Mexico where this type of life was led. And as he drives on the road, he sees a car on the highway. He goes on through the desert. There's a car on the. Do they drive on the right side in America, or do they drive on the left? Right side. Right side. So this, and he just thought that this car needs help. Maybe some benzene is required. I have an extra tank in my car. Let me help like this. So he overtook the car. He parked the car on the other, just in front, got out of the car and walked towards the car and sees it's full of devotees. He just prayed to Krishna, to Prabhupada, to give him a sign. So he told me he was so shocked he wanted to return, jump into his car and drive to Madagascar. But then he understood, no, glorious is that master who doesn't let his servant go, but he pulls him back. And he said it was so moving to him. He talked to the devotees, they were very kind, they invited him to prasadam. And yes, they had run out of benzene, typical. And he could help them, and yes, he came back. So this is a mercy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned with Kala Krishnadas to Puri. He had, however, a personal discussion. He invited Nityananda, Jagadananda, Mukunda, and Damodar for a private talk, and he said, look at your Kala Krishnadas. He left me. If I wouldn't have come and somehow brought him back, I don't know where he would be. I have brought him back. I'm no longer responsible for him. So Kala Krishnadas heard this. He was listening on the door, he heard it. How would you feel if the Lord says, I'm no longer responsible for this person? It's very heavy. How would you feel if your spiritual master would say, enough is enough, he is now on his own? It's very, very, very not so nice. So Kala Krishnadas cried. He felt so heavy in his heart. The Lord was sending him now away. Why could the Lord send someone away? My dear devotees, you must know, Lord Chaitanya needed to show the example of an exemplary sannyasi who is in good company. And there was always critics who, when the sannyasi does a little thing which they don't like, they talk so heavy. Lord Chaitanya, and then they can't listen any longer to any good advice. So when Lord Nityananda saw that there was a soul who was no longer desired in the company of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he saw he was regretful, he took Kala Krishnadas to the side and said, we need a good messenger to go to Navadvip and Shantipur to inform all the devotees there that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is back from his tour through South India, which took 6 long years. So he's back. Go to Madasachi and all the devotees and tell them the news of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it is said by this incident that although Lord Chaitanya may be a little tough with you, although perhaps you may feel Krishna has left you or is not really appearing in the same way in which he used to appear in your young days. In other words, when you have fallen or feel you have fallen into disgrace by the devotees, by Krishna, by Lord Chaitanya, there's always one last limit of mercy. This is Lord Nityananda. He is always there, and if you show some regret, I'm sorry for this, there is a great, great chance for you to make it at the end. There is another very, very good example with which I would like to end. The example of Jagai and Madai. These were two people who really had become dangerous. They had been born in a Brahmin family. They had given that up. And it is said, when there are people who have given up something, some spirituality, they usually become more materialistic than ordinary people. And these two were examples of this. They were actually dangerous. They were constantly drunken, and they were attacking the people on the street and broke their legs, and they were very strong. When Nityananda came and asked them, and saw, he thought, when Nityananda saw them the first time, if I can make the rolling stones into devotees, that would glorify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very much. Oh, can I say? If I can make Jagai and Madai into devotees, he said, of course, this would be very, 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 very nice. Everyone would look to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and say, he is a very powerful personality. So he went to the two when they were lying in drunken stupor. You know what that is? They lie and they urinate into their devotees. They can't control it, anything. The saliva drops from their mouth. It's really an ugly scene. Stupor, drunken stupor. Nityananda said, brothers. Brothers. He calls us brothers? Who does he think he is? Please chant the holy name. Chant the holy name. We will show you what we will do. And Madai broke a clay pot in which there was alcohol. I think it was empty because he wouldn't break the full pot. He wanted to drink the full pot. And then he had a sharp knife, sharp weapon. Maybe you know, you have been in such situations where very, very Tamasic people, you know, in a restaurant, I have seen in my kami, like they break a bottle and then they go and have a very powerful weapon. It can be more dangerous than a knife because it's a round thing, you know. It cuts on a bigger level, and or Krishna. So he went like this to Lord Nityananda and struck him on his head, and there was blood coming. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this. Dear devotees, he ran to the spot, and when he saw the two drunken people, he called one word, Sudarshan! And the many-spiked ultimate weapon of Vishnu came and began revolving around his finger, and became bigger and bigger and bigger. It became so big it could control destroy the universe. And Lord Chaitanya was just about to throw it when Nityananda said, hold on, my dear Lord, in this incarnation we are not killing. That was really seething. He was very, very angry, but Lord Nityananda held him up like this. Don't. This is not the incarnation, this is wrong time. And then, when Lord Chaitanya had calmed down, Nityananda requested him to do something extraordinary. He said, please embrace them, because when you embrace them, accumulated and which is an obstacle in their life, that will go. So earlier, Lord Chaitanya had said, "You are the puppet master and I'm the puppet. I'm dancing according to your direction." And now he actually did it. He did something totally opposite than he wanted to do initially. And when he embraced first Madai and then Jagai, he turned black. Now, one devotee, I think it was Advaitacharya, joked. He said, "Now you look like Krishna." What it was, the black thing was all the sinful reactions of Jagai and Madai. Mahaprabhu smiled about this humorous comment, but then he became serious. He said, "My body is golden. This blackness has to go. It will go to a very special place. It will go to all those who criticize the devotees, all those who will commit Vaishnava aparad. I will give them part of the sinful reactions of Jagai and Madai." This is now one of these very intense parts of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Krishna is ready to be merciful to all. Nityananda is merciful even to Jagai and Madai. But how will Krishna feel if his very devotees, whom he wants to lift up, are hurting each other by doing aparads, by cheating them in some ways, or by talking bad about them? He has given that mercy to the devotees who, and all of us make mistakes. We are in Kali Yuga. This is normal. I read yesterday even Pope Francis fell in love with a bright and intelligent girl. When he was not yet Pope. No? We do things, But my dear, I don't think they had anything. But I read, and then the Pope says, "Come on, it's normal that," he didn't speak about Kali Yuga, it is normal that human beings make human mistakes. So then God is prepared to forgive. If his devotees are not also prepared to forgive, then this is not a very high-class devotee. So my dear devotees, later Lord Nityananda was met alone by Madai. And Madai was inconsolable. He that was the one who had drawn blood. And he said to Lord Nityananda, "My Lord, when I think that it is you who sustains the universe in the form of Vishnu, when I remember that by your Shakti, Brahma creates and Shiva destroys, and I remember my great offense of striking your body and making you bleed, there's a fire in my heart, the fire of repentance that burns me alive, and I have no peace. Please, can you save me from this fire?" Nityananda then answered, "Mother, please know you are like my son. If a son strikes the father, does the father feel hurt? I cannot feel offended by you. You're my little boy, my little Shishu. But if you want to become free from the offense of hurting others, then I request you to serve them by building a bathing gut, by washing all the feet of those who come there to bath, and by chanting 200,000 names a day. Hare Krishna. That's quite a good number. That's twice 64 hours. My dear devotees, I want to conclude. We are in an age that is problematic. There will be, there always have been problems in our lives. And there will, because we are, some of us are just problematic people. We are restless. When Srila Prabhupada, he once, I think I said this in the disciple meeting, that someone said to him, I do not trust anyone, I only trust you. He said, better don't trust me. Also, you will find fault in me also. So we are in an unfortunate situation. But please take courage, my dear devotees. It is said, you can approach Radha Krishna through Gauranga, you can approach Gauranga through Nityananda, and you can approach Nityananda through your spiritual master. Prabhupada has this quality of Lord Nityananda, of forgiving and forgiving and forgiving and forgiving. There are many extraordinary examples that Prabhupada would just excuse us for our mistakes. But there's one thing. The Leela of Kala Krishna reminds us that the Lord is the savior of the fallen, but not the savior of the cheaters. He's Patita Pavana, not Kapata Pavana. Kapata means cheating. You have to be honest. You have to be willing to look at your mistakes and correct them. Then only you can be elevated. If you continue to keep your mistakes and to defend them even, then this is very dangerous, this situation. So, but you are in the category of wonderful devotees. I'm just saying it as part of this lecture. I would like to end with the Nityananda Bhajan. Maybe, Lordship, just very briefly. Oh my God, it's so late. It's a little bit too late. Can someone please again, I think, Valentina, can you put this Nityanandastakam on the thing? Then we can just sing the last line. Just 2 more minutes, huh? I was thinking, I made a mistake. I wanted to say the first verse. Sarat Chandra Brahme Saruna surprise for you. Do you know that Srila Prabhupada's family is closely related to one of Lord Nityananda's greatest devotee? This greatest devotee was known as Udarandata. He came from once the Brahmana came to see Lord Nityananda and discussed with Lord Nityananda as he was sitting in the court of Udarandata. Then Nityananda said, please stay, it's time now for prasadam. The Brahmana said, I can't eat. What this non-Brahmana, Udarandata, and his family has cooked, I only eat food cooked by Brahmanas. So he wanted to go away. And then Lord Nityananda said, Udarandata, bring me your cooking spoon. So Udarandata brought the cooking spoon from the kitchen. It was a big one because he cooked always great quantities for the whole village to take. And then Lord Nityananda took the cooking spoon of Udarandata and planted it in the earth, and immediately it became a wonderful tree with fruits, and you can still see the same tree growing. It's a Nityananda tree. And perhaps therefore we say, I worship Lord Nityananda, the root of the Bhakti tree. No? He actually planted a dried, dead cooking spoon, and then it grew, and you can see that tree. It's an amazing tree. And then the Brahmana saw this. He said, I'm taking Udarandata's prasadam. If his cooking spoon is already so advanced, so I wanted to say, so this Udarandata had a family, and it grew, and Srila Prabhupada's father was from that, you could say, community. And Prabhupada said that in his youth, he would regularly go by ox cart with his family into this village of Nityananda's, one of Nityananda's greatest devotees. And they would stay in the village for festivals. Lord Nityananda was praised. And then he said then when they came back from the festival, he would fall asleep immediately in the ox cart and wake up next day in Calcutta, where he lived as a child. So Prabhupada is very much in the spirit of Nityananda, and we have seen this. He has never turned anyone away. That was his nature. Yes, he spoke the truth of Krishna consciousness, and he was not compromising. He was very firm, but his heart was just so merciful that he would give everyone a chance again and again and again. This is one of, amongst us disciples, we often discuss this, and we are very proud of our spiritual master. Good, I have reached my end. Perhaps you can see I also have reached my physical end for the day. But it was a wonderful opportunity to really celebrate with you, Lord Nityananda. And I can only hope that we all have gotten the glance of Lord Nityananda. If you want, you can make something modern, a selfie with you and Nityananda. I know these modern things. It can also be that someone it's such a nice photograph. You can take the photograph home. Good. Gaurahari will give us an orientation of the
what we will do today and what we will do tomorrow. Maybe we should not get up so early tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Kumar. It's been really a fantastic day. I feel very light heart and very, very beautiful. We have actually quite some change in the schedule and remaining for tomorrow and also for day after tomorrow. So because we end late, we are going to start also later tomorrow. So we have more or less 1 hour later. Breakfast will be at 8 o'clock, and 9:15 actually we will be picking up Gomaj in the guest house building with Kirtan. At 9:30 we start here in the temple room. And also on day after tomorrow, the schedule was not clear what will happen in the morning. There was just Go Puja and breakfast. So His Holiness Sacinandana Swami will give a concluding lecture of the festival.
Goodbye, goodbye lecture.
That will be at 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's not a regular schedule. Also tomorrow morning there will be no Go Puja at 7:15 like we always do. The Go Puja will be done when the Vyasa Puja celebration starts. Just that you know. You can expect a lot of usual surprises and unusual surprises for tomorrow. Also, now we will need to allow Gomaj to leave the temple room. So if you want to approach Gomaj, you have to do it outside of the temple room, because a lot of things needs to take place in the temple room and cannot take place when Gomaj is personally present here. And we will also need some help, but more or less right now, maybe for half an hour or 45 minutes before you go to take the dinner. If some of you feel too much ecstasy in the heart and you really want to distribute it further, you can approach Krishna Murari. He will be very happily engaging you. So this morning we were singing the song of Narottam Das Thakur, where he said that by the mercy of Lord Nityananda we will attain Radha and Krishna in Braj. And I think today was so much mercy in the air that this blessing might become true maybe sooner than expected. Nityananda Rama ki Jai, Shila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. I have to leave the room, I understand this. and outside, we will just catch a cold if we talk outside. So let us talk tomorrow. Now, let this be a good ending of the day. Hare Krishna.